going on, everybody? It's the Rewind. It's that time of week me and RN run down this week's wrestling in WWE and AEW, and of course, any other shows that caught our interest this week. Spoiler, nothing. It's going to be your by-the-book show. I am your host, Kyle Tyson, joined, like always, by
Mr. 8984 at Twitter, #MuteRN. I'll let your boy.
There we go, RN. That's right, man. I like throwing.
I was ready this time, fucker.
You were ready for me. He was ready for me, folks. Oh, man. If y'all are unfamiliar with the show, RN and myself are from Smacked Raw. This is our Rewind show. It's not your traditional weekly recap. We're just going to be covering like the good and bad points of the week, stuff that stuck out to us. If it was lingering in the middle, we'll probably leave it behind because like I've always said, if it isn't worth remembering, it isn't worth talking about. And before we kick the things off, I've learned we got to start plugging our stuff back in the beginning of the show again. You know, so if you're tuning in live, we are at twitch.tv/puttingyouover. However, it's been a fun, great relationship with Standing Streamer. Our shows, the Untitled Friday show, and the Rewind will now be joining the She Elite Showcase on our home Twitch page. Please follow us at twitch.tv/Smacked Raw Podcast. Don't be afraid to follow this show too. Streamer puts out fantastic content. He's constantly interviewing people in the wrestling industry. The man and Vanessa are an awesome duo. He stands behind a bar drinking Rolling Rocks. Just having a good time, man. It's really fun. So please follow him. He streams his shows opposite days of ours, so you can enjoy us both still.
Definitely still part of the family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
no fallouts.
And then on top of that, over on YouTube, please hit that like button, subscribe. It really helps the show out. It helps that YouTube algorithm start suggesting our videos, get more views, so we can make more content for you guys. Help us out there. And then lastly, you guys know the deal by now. If you've heard any of my shows, I love to talk about the Patreon. We got t-shirts, stickers, a whole bunch of fun stuff. Just shipped them out. We'll shout you out on the show too as well whenever you subscribe. Patreon.com/SmackedRawPodcast. And then if you want to do a one-time donation, you can find us on PayPal, paypal.me/SmackedRawPod. We appreciate everything you guys donate, man. It goes right back into the show so we can make better content for you. All right. Got that out of the way. RN, this week, man, what did you think overall? I missed NXT. I know, shocker. You missed SmackDown.
Right.
Other than that, the shows that you did watch, what'd you think?
Everything was good. Like AEW was for sure the show of the week. But I mean, Raw was is always just so unremarkable. It's like I don't even really count that. So, but no, AEW was definitely the show of the week because everything they had packed and their mini pay-per-view or whatever the hell it is. But no, I enjoyed everything. I wish I could have watched SmackDown, but was in the studio with Adam doing some MJB shit.
Hell yeah. No, I kind of agree with you. I feel like the middle of the week was the strong shows. I mean, shocker, NXT and AEW standing out. I'm assuming NXT stood out.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
I saw a bunch of spoilers. They looked like good spoilers.
Oh yeah, everything was. It was a dope show. Like I said, it was like a B. AEW was an A, but again, AEW, that was technically a mini pay-per-view for them, so they had a little bit more shit going on.
Yeah.
Than what NXT did. So.
Yeah, I'll say this: Raw and SmackDown this week felt very shallow. There was some good stuff in there, but a lot of like nothing. But like I said, we'll pick out the stuff that we like to talk about. Yeah. I'll start it off. Kicking the day off or night off with Raw. The first big bad thing, shit that pissed me off. Charlotte Flair defeating Nikki Ash via pinfall, clean in the middle of the ring.
Let's go.
Here's the issue. Nikki Ash, you should be beating her before she wins the belt.
Right.
Because everything she's saying right now, that she believes she can win, she believes she can come back, that's good, for somebody who's chasing a championship. When you're holding the belt, It just makes you look like you're making excuses. It does make you look like a fluke champ. It doesn't work for the baby face.
And then when how she looked when she lost, like she looked like she lost the title. Like she was like dejected, head down, like terrible body language and shit. I'm like, how did you go from her being the most positive person on the damn roster to one loss, making her feel like she's a loser and she's still the damn champ? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand their booking. Like, y'all know I don't like the Nikki Ash shit, but like, even me not liking it, that was just a horrible fucking booking decision. Terrible.
Like I said, this could easily be a positive. It could be a good thing if she didn't have the belt, if she's chasing the belt. The fact that she has the title kind of diminishes her value now when she loses.
If she doesn't have the belt, she keeps losing, she loses, then she wins the belt at the pay-per-view to overcome it. Not you lose, then lose again at the pay-per-view and lose the belt.
How hard is that? How hard is that storytelling, folks?
Right.
It's simple.
Like I said, I think the whole thing is ass, but even I can admit that it made no goddamn sense. Like none whatsoever.
From one bad thing to another. Okay, so this one, the IWC, we saw this coming the moment we heard about the pairing. Karrion Kross defeating Keith Lee, man. There was no good outcome, so this is going to be a bad from me, too. It's a down. Keith Lee coming out, losing 2 matches in a row.
They did this shit on purpose because of them people, because everybody complaining about Karrion.
Yeah.
Everybody was complaining about Karrion. Everybody was complaining about Keith Lee. It's we got something for you next week. Now what you gonna do?
Right. It feels like it, dude. Listen.
It's like they're thumbing their nose up at us.
Even if you are like a very optimistic person, something I try to be, you cannot deny on the surface it looks like NXT is being buried. Even if you're trying to be optimistic, saying hold out for these long-term stories.
Right.
Oh man, it's still really bad.
And my thing is too, like, I'm the NXT guy. I get it. And like all these people are like, oh well, this champion's from NXT. This champion's like all those people that you're talking about, yes, they were from NXT. Damn near every champion right now was from NXT. How many fucking years ago was that?
Yeah.
They're all 5 years or more removed from being in NXT.
And for every NXT success story, there's like 3 to 4 just completely dropping the ball.
But that's always everyone's argument when you say it, when they're about them burying NXT. Like, well, this person's champion. Like, yes, but how long ago were any of those people in NXT? We're talking about the people now.
Yeah. No, man, it's just rough. It's rough. And you know what? To make even matters more hilarious, the reports that if Jeff Hardy had not contracted COVID, he was scheduled to beat Karrion Kross again for a second time. It was scheduled in that he was supposed to get beat again by Jeff Hardy. No offense to my former favorite wrestler of all time.
So ass.
Yeah, like you said, Aaron. Like you said. What has Jeff Hardy done lately except lose to people? Hey, you know that guy that just got destroyed by Drew McIntyre with the chair? That's like essentially just henchman number 1 for Jinder Mahal. Yeah, he just beat Jeff Hardy on Main Event.
That's what I'm going to say.
So that guy, by wrestling math, is your NXT champion, or at least is greater than your NXT champion.
Facts.
Oh man, it's terrible shit, man. It's terrible. And you know what? Anybody defending the shit, well, good for you. Okay.
My bad thing is Bobby Lashley destroying the Hurt Business.
Yeah, I had that on my list too.
It's so like how high we thought of all of them, how we propped those two guys up and all the good work they were doing to this. Like I don't get it. And the thing that really pisses me off about it breaking up, I'm not even going to use the black card. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to do that this time. But the type of champion that Bobby Lashley is, any other champion like that would have henchmen and would have some sort of faction backing them up. Why you had that already built in? What the hell did you break them up for?
Dude, I have no idea.
People were buying merchandise. So they were a heel faction, and everybody had on those damn Hurt Business shirts and shit, man. And right when I bought mine, they broke up.
I don't know. It's so silly too, and the fact that it's just
it doesn't make sense.
No, exactly.
And you took a tag team away from your division that doesn't have any fucking tag teams to begin with.
I'm really awestruck with some of these decisions, and this was one of them. I mean, granted, I will say this. I love that Bobby Lashley's being dominant. Like
right.
This killer Bobby Lashley, unstoppable machine. I love that. It's kind of like the same thing. It's we wanted a winner in Karrion Kross, but damn it, if you aren't picking the wrong sheep to get slaughtered, like, that's the only thing, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it had been Jeff Hardy and some other jobbers, Drew Gulak, any of those idiots in the 24/7 thing, he just destroyed like 10 of them by himself. Like, it is what it is, but these were the guys that got him, and whether we want to admit it or not, were part of the reason why he got propped up and got to be who he was, is because of the Hurt Business and them being a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is probably one of the things that made me angriest in wrestling, them breaking up. Like I know everything runs its course, but it's like there's so many other things you could have did besides break them up. Like, you could have still even ran the angle with them not getting along and shit, and then did a swerve to where they were just doing that to fuck around, and actually they are on the same. Like, there's so many other things you could have did. Like, I just don't understand why they broke them up, man. A viable faction for a heel champion.
They broke them up because the faction was just, I'm telling you, it's like any other case. The faction was getting over to a degree where they didn't want it to. Bobby Lashley and his faction were turning face in the audience.
Right.
That's what it was. Is WWE hates this when they accidentally create something good, when they're not trying. It's everything has to be deliberate, and if you stumble across something great, no, it can't happen because it wasn't by design.
That's the same thing I said about this Nikki Ash shit. Everybody's attacking me in the group chat like, oh, this. I'm like, no, it's not. They didn't make it. They didn't force it on her. So she's literally going to be an afterthought. What happens a week after she wins the title? She loses for no damn reason at all. I've only been watching wrestling for 30 years. Never stopped. Like, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I never seen something before. Like, come on, bro.
The optimist in me says that this resembles slightly the Chris Jericho triple threat match with Stone Cold and The Rock, where he became undisputed champion. Because, of course, we didn't touch on the storyline and everything, but Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley both argue that they deserve a title shot, and it's just been made into a triple threat. So basic shit here. For some reason,
I think they went too far into it. I think they should have went right into Alexa.
Yeah, I really like the dynamic of Alexa and Nikki, because then you have, for one, something WWE loves: simple storytelling. You have an obvious villain, a hero,
obvious bad guy.
Yeah, and you can make some cheesy, like C-rated superhero, supervillain story out of this.
All the dumb shit that they do well and love to do every week, it would actually fit and work out in the storyline with Alexa and Nikki. You could be as corny and as dumb and shit as you wanted to be, and no one would bat an eye at it because of the character.
Because we don't expect anything more of you guys. So
right. I literally would like to know who the booking committee is for Raw. Like, I want to look these fuckers in the eye. I want to cyberbully them so bad.
Oh man, yeah. So that's all I have for Raw. Do you have anything else?
I was checking my notes. That's really pretty much it. Yeah, that's all I had.
Go ahead. What do you got for? Oh wait, no. I had one more thing for Raw. I did have one more thing. My apologies. It was actually a good thing. Reginald is finally.
Oh yeah,
he got dumped. He got dumped by Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Swerve. Nia hits him with a headbutt after she consoles him, and then out comes a 24/7 group, and he pretty much stumbles upon winning. He pins Akira Tozawa. He's got this cool flipping senton that he does, a running flipping senton for a pin. And now we get to see his Circus Soleil antics, dodging, the 24/7 division. My favorite thing in all of this is the Instagram feud between him and Sin Cara. Have you seen this shit?
No, I haven't even paid attention.
Oh man, Sin Cara's throwing shade at him on Instagram because of the trampoline entrance.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, didn't they cut his ass?
Yeah, no, Sin Cara's throwing shit at him, saying something like, "See if you can do that like 5 days a week, something like this," and like essentially just shitting on it. And Reginald, or Reggie as he's known, replied that he's been in the circus for like 17 years, so he can handle it.
I'm like, what was he watching? Like that dude, all you did was literally just dive over the top rope. This motherfucker's doing 10 front flips and a fucking twisty whirly thing when he does it and shit, bro. Like, shut up. You're not even a real Sin Cara. Get the hell out of here.
All right, so talk to me about NXT. What did I miss out on? What am I happy I missed?
There wasn't really anything super bad. It was pretty much kind of par for the course. We're definitely getting Samoa Joe fighting Karrion Kross at TakeOver.
Hell yes, I can't wait for that.
What is dude's name? You probably don't know who it is anyway, but Ridge Holland, he was originally supposed to be a part of the feud when Undisputed Era.
He's the guy that blew out his knee or something,
oh, yeah, blew out both his legs, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that.
Yeah, well, he returned and joined Pete Dunne and Orny Lurk, and they beat the brakes off of
So he's back already?
Yeah.
God, it feels like that junk just happened not that long ago, too. I guess it has been a while, hasn't it?
I think it was like a year and a half ago, almost.
Really? Oh, my God, dude, what is time?
I want to say it was maybe March or April of last year.
Good Lord.
Could be wrong, but
Dakota, I know she broke out.
Oh yeah, she her line was dope. She said, "As long as I got your back, you'll always be champion." And as soon as Gonzalez turned around, she gave her that hell of a kick in the corner.
Oh shit! I saw that GIF like all over the internet. I loved it, man. That running big boot.
Yes. Then Carmelo Hayes in the breakout tournament. That's my pick to win it. But I mean, he's been fucking tearing it up.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, he went against Josh Briggs. He's from Evolve. I mean, he's a pretty fucking big dude, especially in NXT. Like he's huge compared to all the rest of them. Man,
you mean like stature wise, like physical,
everything. Like I mean, tall. He's every bit of probably like 240. And probably like 6'5", 6'6". So of course he looks like he's 7'1" in NXT. So, but him and Carmelo Hayes had a fucking banger. Like if you go back, if you're gonna go back and watch anything, that's the match to watch for sure.
Bama updated us on the injury. He said the injury's from October of last year, so it's been about 10 months. But I guess if it's like an ACL or MCL, I remember it had something to do with his knees. That's on par for the average recovery time.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really it. Everything else is pretty much.
Wait, so did I see something about oh God, what's her name? The chick that's obsessed with Dexter Lumis.
Oh yeah, they're Johnny Gargano's got to fight Dexter Lumis for, I guess, fucking Indy's hand. I guess.
Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
That's been low key like my favorite angle, and I know a lot of people hate it. Like
I don't hate it. I mean they kind of downplayed it, and Dexter Lumis hasn't really been on TV, so they've kind of gone away from it. Like they still like mention it and bring it up, but he hasn't really been on TV like that. And then on the Adam Cole versus Bronson Reed, it was a pretty big match too. But God, I'm just not into Bronson Reed. Besides even the thick boy shit that I would never call another grown man, but yeah. I don't know, just something about him. Like it doesn't translate for me.
His personality would shine. I know this is kind of like a weird thing, but his personality would shine as like an MMA fighter. Like people like in the love Samoan, like Australian Samoans in MMA. Like they become stars.
Well, that's what I think. I think that's what it is. Like that baby face shit for him, especially even though he's really not that big. He's like Otis. He's probably like 5'7", 5'8", 300 and something damn pounds. But
he's got to bring some authenticity to his Australian heritage. I'm telling you, something.
I don't even know if it's necessarily that. I think he should have came out as he should have been a heel first.
He should be doing what Tuivasa's doing in the UFC and doing shoeies where he's drinking beer out of his shoe after celebrate. Something like that, man. I promise you would turn a corner for Bronson.
Like I said, I think because with big guys, I think they always, especially now because of Otis, they always try and fucking capitalize on the big goofy, like not goofy, but the big guy. But I feel like they should have brought him out as a heel first. And then these feuds that he had, like Undisputed and all them kicking his ass and him overcoming it would organically got him to be what they want him to be now. I think that's the main issue from like, it's hard to take a guy serious when he's twice the size of everybody
the rest of your roster.
Yeah, like that's the main thing. It's like you can't be sympathetic for us, even and then especially going against Adam Cole, who, even though he's the biggest damn heel in the company, he's probably the most over person in the company.
It's crazy, right?
Right. Like at the same time, like hate him but love him at the same time. And so then when you have a guy like Bronson Reed in there with him, it just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's behind the fucking 8 ball. It doesn't matter what he does. Like, I mean, it just is. Like that's and like I say, it was a great match. And I'm never gonna hate on this in ring, especially how big he is. Mm-hmm. He never blows up. He can go for fucking days for being 300 pounds, but it's just something that just doesn't click.
Bama says he's tired of the Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly feud that seems to keep on going.
Facts. And you know, Bama's saying that he's Adam Cole and the UE's biggest fan. So, you know, me and him both are saying we're over with.
Yeah, it's over. Let's talk about AEW, man. I was there. I went to Fight for the Fallen.
Hell yeah.
It was a fun show. I didn't realize I actually got to watch the taping of Elevation and Dark that come up tomorrow and or today if you're watching this on Monday and on Tuesday. So quick note, I'm not going to really cover too much about what happened there. Darby Allin had a match on Elevation. That was really fun. Seeing Darby Allin live is pretty badass.
Oh yeah.
Although like I guess if you watched it televised, his match is kind of by the books, but seeing him live was fantastic, along with Sting too. And then over on later on that night on Dark, you had Jon Moxley have a match. That was just there to pop the crowd. Like that was just there for us. It was pretty cool. And then lastly, the night closed out with Eddie Kingston. Fun fact, I don't know if they do this every night, but Eddie Kingston seems to close out the shows. And he's really good.
I think he does. I think that's his deal now.
He put over the he won in a match against I don't remember his name, and it's the member of Top Flight that's not injured.
I don't remember either one of their names.
Yeah. So. Anyways, he beat him in a match, and they put the kid over afterwards, and pretty much kicked us all out the building. It was pretty awesome. Right. Not gonna lie, I'm trying to be fair and not a shill for AEW. But let's get the facts straight, folks. It was the best show of the week. It was the best show. All right.
You can't say that if you didn't even watch all the shows. It's not fair. It was the best show of the week.
I'm going by your word. I'm taking your word.
But your shill ass, you can't. If you don't watch NXT, you don't get to. You know what? You're done doing the NXT, the AEW rewind until you watch. You got to watch NXT to do the AEW.
Oh man.
Fucker.
No, okay, so I'm not gonna say this whole show was great. There was a lot of high moments to it. What did you think of the 10-man tag I found fun. I see a lot of people hating it. AEW fans don't care about the rules. Whatever. It was fun.
But that's my complaint about them all the time. It's like you never know what the rules to the fucking match is.
Yeah.
Like how do you get counted out in a 10-man tag?
I know.
Even WWE's never fucked up and done nothing like that.
The crowd didn't like that. I will say that. The crowd definitely booed that one.
They don't count on anybody in any match. And then a match like that, you get counted out in. Like, that's what those little things I always talk about. It's always the little things that gets them. Like, that match was dope. It had so much shit going on, but it didn't feel, like, chaotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had its moments. It had its – everybody standing together.
Keep up with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could keep up with it. It wasn't too crazy. And then you have some shit like that. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a count out in a 10-man tag.
I don't even recall seeing the ref counting, to be honest with you.
No, I don't either. That was another thing too. Like, when did he count? I just saw him
I feel
ring the
like
bell.
they just hit the spot, and then the ref was like, you know what? Y'all been out of the ring too long.
Right. I'm like, so damn, everybody just does what they want, wrestlers and refs?
TP Poker says, hello and good evening, everyone. May I ask a question? Yeah, go ahead. Shoot a question. We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it.
And the thing I hated most about them is how they fucking abuse those Jordans. Like, I don't even like Jordans. I don't even own a pair of Jordans, but those are $300 to $700 pairs of shoes that they just fucking annihilate in the ring with thumbtacks.
I think that's part of the way they get heat, is from you sneaker guys.
Them destroying those Dior Jordans is more heel than them putting the thumbtacks in what's his name's mouth and super kicking him.
Oh, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. And I'll say this. So the intro was really good.
Yeah.
I watched it on TV. It translated well on television. They're live. It was fantastic. The finish, man, is heartbreaking.
I can't believe it. Like, I can honestly tell you, it's the first time AEW's actually really like surprised me, and it's the first time they've really like I was emotionally invested for once in a feud in this company that I like. It's not that I hate it, but it's just not all the way my cup of tea. The one fucking thing I am invested in, they ended. I'm like,
squashed it, man.
Like, what?
I know.
Every time they get me, every time they're reeling me in, finally getting me back on the team, and then they do some shit like this.
Oh man, yeah, I know. Tell me about it, man. It was crazy. The crowd couldn't believe it. Even though we were watching it,
right?
It was.
Oh, it got quiet. That was the quietest I've ever heard of Yeah, it was the quietest I've ever heard of AEW crowd.
So
you can hear on TV, you can hear the entire crowd gasp when that happened. Like, legit, you can hear the air get let out the building.
Yeah. It kind of led to like a weird match in the following one, the tag match between FTR and Santana and Ortiz, because I think it's Dash is from North Carolina. Yeah. But everybody loves Santana and Ortiz. Mm-hmm. So a combination of the crowd being tired from the 10-man tag, right, and then not knowing who to cheer for during that tag team match was kind of awkward. And then of course it was terrible, man. Cash got injured. I saw how it didn't catch it on TV. I saw that junk blatant as day.
What happened?
So he was on the top turnbuckle, and they did like a shoving spot where he got shoved off, but he collapsed awkwardly, and his bicep just went into what looked like just the corner post. Right. But apparently the corner post must have had something metal on it, maybe just a rough edge, because it gashed his I think it gashed his forearm is what it was.
Oh, it just cut him. I thought he fractured it.
No, it gashed him. And then afterwards, apparently it was really bad. I mean, because he instantly was holding that arm. The match match ended really quickly, and then the ring crew came out and instantly started cleaning that corner up, because apparently he spilt a lot of blood there. And then the next day, Dash took to Instagram or Twitter and went off on people wanting like a report for their like podcast or whatever, because he said that he thought he was going to watch his friend bleed out. Right. So I'm wondering if he nipped an artery or.
Well, he had to. It had to have been that much blood or something like that. Yeah. I thought he fractured something because how the blood was and how he's holding his arm, and you can kind of see the pool of blood in that picture that you posted. You can kind of see the pool of blood down there. So I thought he like fractured it. I didn't know he fucking gashed it open. I don't know. Shit, that might have been worse.
Yeah, no, it was a really bad cut. So I just say it was bad for that reason alone. And then the last bad thing, not going to lie, Brian Cage. Ricky Starks didn't tell any lies when he was in the ring, and Brian Cage being a void of personality and charisma. The segment didn't do him no good. I am kind of upset that Taz didn't bust out like a DJ booth, because he really looked like he was going to start DJing for everybody up there. But yeah, Brian Cage, man, I don't know. It's the Taz group always struggles. It feels like they just are given So
they need to leave. Taz doesn't need to be the face. Like, he just needs to be the name. Like, Ricky Stark doesn't need Taz.
yeah,
Ricky Stark doesn't like. Oh, he needs the henchman. I get that, but he doesn't need Taz to talk. Like, Taz shouldn't fucking say a thing unless he's on the commentary booth. Other than that, get the hell out of there. That's the only thing I hate about like his things. Like, yes, we know he can talk. We know who he is. We know he's a legend. But like, this group doesn't need him when you have somebody like Ricky Starks. The whole reason why you snatched up Ricky Starks was his fucking promo work and his character work with Nick Aldis and NWA. It wasn't to come be standing in the back and let Taz's fucking make no sense, old school 1990 language ass talk. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It never made sense.
It is a little awkward. I mean, we know why Taz is out there. Is a lot of us are very, for the same reason we're nostalgic for Jim Ross.
Right.
Taz killed it on SmackDown for a lot of us. A lot of our favorite commentators. You know, you ask a bunch of people, Taz is going to be on that list.
Right.
He's fantastic. And I believe he should still be on screen, like you're saying. Just maybe dial it back a little bit. Kind of, you know, just dial it back a little bit. Like, how involved, like, how vocal was Conan for Prince Puma? You know, back in, did you watch?
He talked to him all the time. Prince Puma never said a word.
Right, but I mean, like, Conan still was more like menacing instead of just, you know what I mean? Instead of leading these long, drawn-out segments and being like a huge counterpiece, it's kind of like he just got his shit in and got out.
Right.
If I remember correctly.
One thing is too, like the thing with like Ricky Stark said, like now that Brian Cage doesn't have Taz or somebody to talk for him, like you got to get that man in matches where he gets to get his shit in. That's what got him over. That's what got him. He does not have a character. He does not have any fucking type of charisma. He's just a big, strong dude that can do a bunch of flips and shit. You got to get him back in to doing that. If you're not gonna, like, he can't just be the powerhouse. You have to let him do his entire repertoire, because that's what he got there for. He didn't get there because of his fucking mic work.
No, it's his in-ring work.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Get him in a pairing. You know what you need to do is get him paired up, similar to Dijak and Keith Lee.
Right.
Find that other big person that has similar attributes to him, and let him just start tearing the house down in like a 3-month feud. You know, yeah, because you know this whole thing with Taz, because let's look at it, folks. If he's in a straight 1-on-1 match with Ricky Starks, he's gonna eat the dude alive. So we know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Every time they go out there, it's gonna be Team Taz against him, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not into it. That's why I put it on the bad. Yeah. The last two good things, CM Punk shit, hype. I'm sorry, man. Like, I could sit here and say I'm not that excited, but then when you're in that arena and they start just teasing that CM Punk, you can't help get like bit by it though. Like, you really do.
I mean, if you saw my top 10, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Like to me, he may be the best on the mic that I've ever seen in person and ever seen. To me, I think he's the best on the fucking mic. And like I said, every time AEW, every time I get pissed off at him, they find something real. Daniel Bryan and fucking CM Punk, I'm all in on that.
Hell yeah. I saw like a fantasy booking thing that I thought was hilarious. As they get to that Rampage show that they advertise in Chicago, and then the Cult of Personality song plays, but then out comes MJF, and it's just the ultimate dick move against the fans. I thought that was a hilarious thing.
Like, have we confirmed any of this? Like, I know everybody's been tongue in cheek about it and mentioned, like, is it actually been confirmed?
So I'll explain how I did on the Friday show with Bama. Yes, it's confirmed, and this is my theory why. So there was an interview with Tony Khan, and the guy asked him straight up, "What's the deal with the CM Punk and Daniel Bryan rumors?" And Tony Khan said that the key words here is, "I can't comment on it." And then he gives some vague statements, you know, wherever they go, they're going to be popular. Of course, we're interested, but whatever. Here's the thing, though. Whenever you say, "I can't comment on it,"
it means you're negotiating.
No. The ink is, the pen has been put to paper. And here's why. Because if you've signed them, you're not going to admit it. You're not going to spoil your surprise. You're not WWE and hopping on Twitter saying, "Oh, next week CM Punk rolls out," you know.
Right.
But if you haven't, and you see this swell of rumors coming and how hard everyone's leaning into it, you'd have to squash it. You wouldn't lead people along because, when that show comes up and nothing happens, there's going to be a huge revolt and there's going to be a shit ton of toxic hate.
Well, they've already done that twice.
Yeah, so you would squash it right on the spot. So you saying I can't comment? Yeah, pens to paper. Like, they are signed. I'm betting my house on it at this point.
I just feel like a hypocrite because when I talk about all these old guys coming back, and then
I know, and then you talk about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
Well, not so much Daniel Bryan. At least Daniel Bryan has been an active wrestler within the last year, but CM Punk
just main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah. When? How long has CM Punk been out? 7 years?
7-8 years, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Last thing, what'd you think of the death match, man?
I mean, it was a normal Nick Gage match for me, and like it was everything I thought it was going to be. Is Jericho let Nick Gage get his shit in, because then that way you're building a partnership with GCW as well, and they're taking advantage of this guy's popularity because of the dark side of the ring, and it's just another thing for fucking Jericho to fucking put on his list of accomplishments. I went into a death match with Nick Gage. I took the pizza cutter. I took the fucking light tubes. I did all of that. I'm the toughest, greatest wrestler of all time. One more thing on my list.
The Hurricanrana from the top ropes is what got me.
Right.
I was like telling the guy sitting down, I was like, yo, that dude's 50. Like, that guy's 50 doing that. Like, yeah, the match was awesome. So whenever Gage was doing the pizza cutter spot, we had a monitor like 50 feet to our right. And so everybody would turn over there because you want the close-up. Right. And dude, whenever he started hitting that pizza cutter, everybody in my section was like squirming in their seats, like trying to push themselves away from the show. It was fantastic, the physical reaction that came out of that shit.
Now, like I said, I knew it was going to be that. I mean, with that, what other reason would you have your, like you said, 50-year-old Jericho do that match if not to get the outcome that we got? He got his ass kicked. He was bloody, battered, bruised, but he still got the win, which we knew was going to happen anyway. But
yeah. Going over to the chat, just because there's a couple AEW related things. Speaking on the whole thing I just said about Brian Cage needing a good dance partner, Bama suggested Miro over that TNT title, and I'm for that. Miro might not be able to do like a lot of the acrobatic stuff, but they'll blend together really well. And then TP Poker, he has a 2-part question. Jizzy G says, Jericho looks like an old leather couch. You know what, though? I mean, trust me, we'll see how we look at 50 and compare ourselves to Jericho. I'm pretty sure we'll take the Jericho ride. TP Poker says, thank you, friends. My question is, with all the talent recently released and the big-name talents at that, do you think AEW pulls the trigger or do they conserve capital? No, they pull the trigger, man.
Pull the trigger. I don't understand why people make this a big deal and think that they shouldn't. Like, you are a fledgling company that's only been around 3 years, right? There's only one other promotion that's been around for the last 20 years with a monopoly on all the fucking talent. So yeah, everybody's gonna be WWE talent because it's only been WWE. It's
only been WWE.
Like, that's the part on like I get what they're saying, and I would kind of be on that bus too if it was more than just WWE for the last 20 years. But
if you're pulling people past their prime, or that people have already turned sour on. Here's my example, and this is what I go back to. Look at the reaction Matt Cardona got. Right. Matt Cardona got a very apathetic, we don't care, this is bullshit reaction, and he was only on AEW TV for like 1 or 2 weeks. They knew it.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew, okay, listen, in this guy's current state, he's dead in the water. We can't use him. So what? He has a name. They let him go, and now look what he's doing for himself. You know, he's raising his stock.
And that example is what I'm saying. Fuck those guys. I'm talking about these high level guys, upper mid card to main event guys. You signed them all, no questions asked. Whatever the fuck they want, you blank check them and get them in there, like flat out. Like, I don't understand why Braun Strowman isn't on TV right now.
Well, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I will say that. Braun Strowman, like you said before, believe it or not, he is still a big deal.
Right.
Even though he was kind of a joke in WWE, he's legitimately and literally a big deal. You would debut him like on a big show, I would think.
I mean, yes and no, but I'd get him on TV immediately because then you get that heat from him being released, and you still get him fired up from being released.
Now with Bray gone, with Bray gone, and releasing that do you see that cryptic I think Instagram post?
Yeah,
the cult of Wyndham.
Yeah.
Oh man,
bro, I don't like I said. Everyone knows I'm not the AEW guy, but when it comes to this shit, you get them guys in immediately. As soon as that non-compete clause is ready to go, you get them ramped up and get in. Like, it makes no sense. You're the number 2 company, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of by default, but kind of because now you actually are. You got to get those guys. You just have to. I don't even know what the debate is. You should have sent somebody, Jericho, one of them should have been at his fucking front door as soon as the day after they released both of them.
TP Poker, he says, you're the owner. Y'all would blank check him. Come on, that's an easy answer for anyone to say. So TP Poker, we're not Steven from Twitter and a couple other people that like to play GM mode. That's not us, man. No. We're purely fans. I'm not gonna waste my time with the business side of things, thinking about how I would distribute millions of dollars, because that's just not what I'm into. What I'm into is potential good stories and potential good characters and entertainment, because I watch wrestling because I want to be entertained. I know some people, I've met them now, like to watch it and pretend that they're in charge of the show and how they would book it. That's just not me, man. I want to be entertained.
Fuck all that. I'll give you what you want to. I said blank check them because you are the number 2 company and you need fucking stars. AEW doesn't have any stars.
There you go.
You can talk all the shit you want. Y'all can pretend like they are what they are. They don't have any stars. They don't. They don't have any homegrown stars. And the one guy that they did, they just fucking crushed his championship opportunity right there. So if you're going to do that and you're going to bury your own talent, the only guy you have built up, you go get the top guys from the other fucking company, because there's only one other company to get top guys. Like, that's why I said blank check them. Like, people forget. Like, don't give me no Ring of Honor. Like, Bama brought up Ring of Honor, Impact, blah, blah, blah. Those are literally like 1AA. Like, those are the lowest of the lows in independents for us, bro. Half you people never watched those fucking shows. I bet you half of your people couldn't tell me what channel any of them come on. So don't give me none of that. It's WWE and kind of AEW, like 4 or 5 steps down. So if any of those fucking dudes fall down the steps from WWE, you rescue them, you pick them up, and you pay them what the fuck they want to be paid.
Here, man. That's a soundbite. If anyone knows how to use Twitch, clip that shit right there.
Bro, what do you mean? That's the easy answer, because it's the smartest answer. Don't overthink it.
TP, I hope you're satisfied with the answers that we gave you tonight. Yeah, and then the last thing is we are year 3. Believe it or not, as overpacked as AEW is, a lot of contracts are going to start coming up soon anyways. We're going to start seeing defects to WWE and people being cut away from AEW, not re-signing or being re-signed. We're gonna open up some vacant slots for these guys.
Yeah, because a lot of these guys were only signed to like 2-year and 1-year, 2-year and 3-year deals anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it for AEW for me.
I didn't watch SmackDown. So
SmackDown, don't worry. I'm gonna. Honestly, it was a. In my opinion, it was a hollow show. Within the first hour, they had less than 20 minutes of wrestling. Honestly, I think they had less than 15 minutes of wrestling in the first hour. John Cena cut a good promo. I will say that he did retort to the missionary line last week. He said, if your man can do missionary for 20 years and you're still into him, keep that man. Or something along those lines. Yeah. But other than that, man, I mean, look, Sasha Banks returns. For Sasha fans, this is huge. I could give a shit, bro. Like, I don't know why. And look, I'm not a Sasha hater. Like, I don't hate her. But I just don't get why this chick is such a big deal right now. Like, I've never understood it. They've booked her ass backwards this whole time. They did. I will say one thing. They had her come out and save Bianca Belair from a beatdown, right? And then instantly she started hugging her like super aggressively, and you're like, man, what the fuck is this? Later in the night, they did do the right thing. Sasha turned on her in the end in the main event. So it's just Sasha Banks is gonna Sasha Banks. All right, it's just
she got to be a heel. Like I don't understand like why they keep playing around with that shit. Like the thing about her too, which is so hilarious. Like her real life Mercedes, whatever the hell she is like one of the softest, like cries over everything type people, lovable, adorable person you ever want to be around. And then her in-ring persona is the boss, the biggest bitch ever. Like, she just has to be that. Like, I don't understand. And that's another thing, too. Like, her real personality, like, how come she can't be a likable baby face? And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not good at being herself.
It doesn't translate well on TV.
No, it doesn't.
No. But I mean, it was what it was. It was. I mean, Sasha Banks is back on television. For those who love her, I'm really happy for you guys. Like, cool. Me, I've just never been the biggest fan of hers. But look, if she's a bad guy, at least that's better than her being a good guy. Because I think she's god awful as a good guy, like you said.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins attacked Edge in a commercial break. That was interesting. Like Edge came out for a promo. They cut to commercial. When they come back, they're recapping what happened, and Seth Rollins had attacked him. And then drop the line, if Seth Rollins can't be Universal Champion, then neither can Edge. I'm
telling you right now, this is going to be the match of the night at SummerSlam.
It will be. No, I wholeheartedly
maybe the feud of the summer, honestly.
Another bad thing about SmackDown was RN, man, you missed like 6 recaps. It was such a recap heavy show, and then they were running recaps for stuff that happened earlier in the night. They were recapping their own night. It was god awful. I don't know why they wasted so much time. Reggie revealed he's not French. He's Carmella made him put a French accent on, but he retained it for Nia Jackson and
what
Shayna
the hell is he on
Baszler.
SmackDown for?
Huh?
What the hell was he on SmackDown for?
He's 24/7 champ. He's crossing brands.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen it on SmackDown.
He's crossing brands. He beat Chad Gable in a match. Well, no, he didn't beat him. He did his little flipping senton move, and then Otis got him DQ'd. Otis got the match tossed out. But yeah, no, he revealed that he's from St. Louis though, so he's no longer Reginald. He's Reggie, and he dropped his French accent, which I mean it's making him more likable. I will say that.
Right.
And then lastly, that's really it, man. There's the last thing is the Roman Reigns contract situation. So here we go. This was fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Some of you guys are really into this, and I'm telling you, man, this had Hogan, WrestleMania, Bret Hart, Yokozuna all over again. RN, you missed this shit. So this is what happens earlier in the night. Corbin, being a dejected loser, asks for a handout from John Cena. He's a really big dick about it this time, though. Not like the lovable loser from Raw. Right. This time he's being a dick. And John Cena AAs him, right? Corbin's down on his luck. Later on, we're getting the contract signing. Finn Balor's out there. Roman Reigns is out there. They're having a good promo back and forth, right? All that's left is for Finn to sign the contract. Well, apparently the contract works the same way as like Money in the Bank. Corbin comes out, destroys Finn Balor, right? Destroys him, hijacks the contract, okay? Is about to sign his name in his place. So Cena comes out to rescue Finn Balor. Cena destroys Corbin, but then Cena signs the contract instead of Finn Balor. And so I get why the long-term booking, this is good because you set up a match after SummerSlam. But this is not a babyface move. You came out and saved your boy, but then stole his title match. Like you could have at that point just walked it over to Finn, said, "Here you go." But
we had this conversation on the Untitled show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, man.
Faces are heels. Heels are faces in WWE. That's because their owner is a fucking heel in real life. So he always thinks it's like any good villain. They always think that they're the hero in their story.
I'm telling
you. That's why all Vince's guys, baby faces always do fucked up shit. They Honestly, think about any of the shows tonight. Think about any other heels. What did they do that was bad?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Bobby Lashley won a 2-on-1 match.
Yeah,
that wasn't bad.
That's you can't have a bad guy in a handicap match.
Bro.
No, you can't.
Roman and him got dicked over by first Corbin got dicked over by Cena. Because even though he was technically the villain, he got dicked over by Cena.
Corbin's just desperate, man.
Right.
It doesn't make him a bad guy.
Down and out on his
desperate. He's
That's
losing his family.
Down the line, he's trying to get back out of the gutter.
Trying to make that money.
Bro, seriously, think of any of the heels. What have any of the heels ever done that was actually heelish? Drew tearing up Jinder's bike. Like, come on, bro. That's like, what the hell? Like, beat the shit out of Jinder's bike for no reason. Beat the shit out of that dude with a chair for no reason.
Yeah, that was like an attempted manslaughter with that guy.
Bro,
Jesus Christ.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like the Bizarro world. The good guys are the bad guys, and the bad guys are the good guys.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I do not know. But that was our week in wrestling. That's what we had. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comments, please. Like, share, subscribe once again to YouTube. Share this stuff with your friends. It's been a great time on the Putting You Over Twitch. Please, if you're watching and you're not already following this Twitch channel, please follow this channel. Standing Streamer is awesome. And then if you get a chance to, head on over to twitch.tv/SmackDraw Follow us over there because that's where you're going to find the Rewind and the Untitled Friday show going forward. Thank you guys for watching. And like always, y'all have a good one.
See you next week.